Blade Song. To be a smith that smiths the most. Because I must admit, I do actually enjoy the smithing in this game. I know you don't prepare the metal, yeah, like you do in other games, other smithing games, but I will admit, it is still rather cool. Checking me in the game that's going to show up. Well, yes, it is. It says I'm live, but the screen hasn't updated. Hold on. Am I live? Yes. Continue. Playing story mode. Well, that was quick. You got a loading screen. Right, we settled off. We've got 5 points. We can't go do explorations until the end of the day. So we will do Garrett, Jarl, Thomas, or Rumin. Now, if we don't spend all our points, we could spend an action point to salvage things like the horseshoe and the empty tankard to give us some extra points. Seal. We could do Thomas. He only wants 13 steel anyway. Jarl and Garrett. You know what? I'm gonna do Garrett because it sounds interesting. A broad-shouldered young man approaches your anvil. Although his ribs are visible through his skin and tattered clothes, he is still noticeably more hale than most of your neighbours. I need a proper weapon, Smith. Something that shows I'm serious about keeping order in this camp. What do you mean by keeping order? He goes around and knows his voice. I've worked out, you see. Ern's Keep. Erin's Keeps. Not just stranding us out here without reason. They're testing us, seeing who's the best among us. If a monster attacks, or a riot breaks out at the gate, I want a sword in my hand so I can leap into action and help the guards. If I impress them, I reckon I have a solid chance of gaining a place in the keep. Alright, I'm aware of hungry people playing at the gates. Would you join the guards and quelling them? Keeping troublemakers in line is good for everybody. The watch needs to see that some of us understand how things work. Once I'm inside, I can put a good word if these folk are here. Help them too. You never know when the camp folk might get restless, start making demands, causing riots, making the guards' lives difficult. Someone's got to step in when it gets out of hand. I don't know much about swords. Something weighty and impressive. 3 stars, speed, material wood, two-handed, broad point. So I want a sharp point, I want a broad point. Long. I accepted it, yes, so I can call it someone else. Jarl. Oh, what can I do for you? A gang that comes around my tent every night. Regular clockwork. They kick and beat us, take our rations, push our face in the mud. You'd think there'd be some solidarity out here, but well, there ain't. I might hide the last of my coin from the sofa, but who knows how long. Best to spend that coin on a good sword, I reckon, so I can protect what's mine. Sheriff Swift. They're gonna take it. I hear them at night, all night, scampering around my tent. Animals, scum. Why can't they leave me alone? I need a sword. I can't lose what little I have. Not again. Who do you think's trying to steal from you? Everyone in this camp. You can't trust any of them. That's why I need a blade in my hand. You don't seem well. I'm fine. It's the world that's wrong. Make me a sword, please. I beg of you. With silver and steel. Some fallas. You give me wood, leather, silver, but you cost me 23 of my steel, and I got 23 left. Some heavy shackles, some steel, empty tankard. You know what? I accept you. Alright, so I need, not required, these are not required, but I need a sword. Duh. I just realized what I said. I know what's required, but I need a sword. Ain't that kind of the point, Smith? You need the lumpy sword too. There you go. You have a sword. I keep forgetting that. There you go. Right, so I got a long blade. Let's see. Narrow point. Change thickness for now. Steadiness though is a little low. Look at this. Stiffness, decent. Decent stiffness. You don't want it too... I mean, the 2 isn't too bad. One's a little too low. I think stiffness of 2 is good. It'll keep a nice, strong... You want a nice, strong core. You don't want it too thin. Too wobbly wobbly. Then the point up there. There you go, nice narrow point. Two-hander, that's just please make a long handle for that one. Now let's make the sharpness, shall we? Cool. Oh, that's cool. It's like a stab point. I'll reverse this, but... that trick is nice. Good for slice and dice. Now I'll tell you about thickness. I'm not sure if I got the right thing yet. No, I saved the wrong one. Get rid of that. I want cross section. Also, we now have a new thing. Oh. Cool. Like a single edge blade? finishing this. Here we go. Nope. Fine. Ah, maybe I need to make the blade wider. I don't know how that made sharper, but probably because it's not such a thing. So I wonder if I can make the cross section fix one side. Yeah, I like that. Let's add again cross section. That flex only the lower side, the other side. That's a weird blade. I'll go with it. I have a blade that's like really narrow one side. Oh. Well, look around. I can't move my hammer. Oh, right, so wrong side though. That is really cool. I like that. Okay, I like this entirely because I've got a cross section. It's like really strange. So you can deselect it. It's like it's got like a false edge, but it's not a false edge because it's sharp. I can put a false edge in by making it blunt, by blunting that side. But that is really cool. Just thick enough for the sharpness. But I want some good rigidity. Okay, handle time. Also handle? Yeah, go with it. Mild taper slim. It's two-hander, so we can avoid. And then because it's mild taper slim, it won't flip half. Stiffness probably went down, but it's a two-hander. I could have sworn it was an out point. Swiss Companion puts the center of balance, point balance. So it's 96, so the center of balance is right really back here in the hand. But apparently I've not got the point for the blade. I must have done something to make the push out the thing. False. Yeah. False stabber. That's a little this mode. Ooh, smooth leather. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. So I use on leather. Bit of steel. I've used all my steel up, unfortunately. I use less steel if I use on these. Gold! Steel. Not enough resources, I don't have any gold. Well, that looks fancy. Right, Jarl. Enjoy my strangely created weapon. The applicant stands a little straighter as he tests the weight of the blade. False stabber has been made. It's perfect. You should see the blunt, rusted dagger those bullies wave around. They'll put some real fear in them. Thank you, Smith. Maybe my kids will get to keep their food tonight. With a black crow handle, a fine steel pommel, and if I had gold, I'd have made a gold thing to it. I need steel. Tomorrow I need to do some scrapping because I can't smith. Think I got a point? No, I don't have a point. Oh, part scaling, so you can make parts bigger or smaller. That's okay, you get engraving, you don't like really start writing fancy stuff on your blades. Here's my finesse by 1. Curvature. For curved blades. A follow with rounded ends, a follow with smooth ends. Follows are great for making things lightweight but still keep their strength. A good potter shaves off. Wait, sword part bending. I can't click on it. Probably because I haven't got that unlocked yet. Right, I can't do anything, so... Yep. I did keep my 20, so I have 150 in cash. Lost City. I gotta get scrap. I gotta get metal. I need steel. Not all of Erin Keep was granted the Masked King's protection. In centuries past, the city spilled beyond its ancient walls. Now the barrier, which traces the wall's course, has left these outer areas at to the mercy of the wastes. Nicknamed the Lost City, these crumbling districts have been picked over by countless looters, but rumours persist that there is worthwhile treasure to be found amongst the rubble. I will seek out the scrap peddler. As night draws closer, the shadows of Lost City come alive. Hidden eyes watch from high places. You scurry through the ruins, feeling as small and vulnerable as an insect. Fortunately, the scrap peddler is easy to find. He warms his hands over a blazing fire in an empty market square, accompanied by a sad-looking mule pulling a cart full of junk. He is an off-putting sight. Most of his face is bandaged, but the exposed areas are a mess of festering sores and flaking skin. You dread to think what the bandages are hiding. Not contagious, not contagious. The peddler points at himself as he shouts. One yellow eye peers madly at you through the gauze. Alright, I believe you. No need to yell. The peddler nods, looking immensely pleased. I have many things I find them in the dark places. I sell to you. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm surprised no one has killed you and stolen your goods. Ha! I'm good at hiding. If found, I'll cough and flutter and pretend to be contagious. Bad men run a mile. But I'm actually not contagious. I'll swear to it. Where did you find all this stuff? Dark places called me. I'll find forgotten things there. He points vaguely downwards. The mule retches as though ready to expire. Can I see your wares? But it's too dark. The dark time is for taking. My favourite's not giving. Come back in daylight so you can see what you're buying, yes? from your forge. Scrap peddler. Steel for the forge. What do you sell here? Many things, what should be found, for those who know. Goodbye, peddler. Partners forever and always, yes. His rotten grin sends a shiver down your spine. So, Gandalf's ruins. Thin but irresistible. Stars and rubble crunch underfoot as you trod down empty street. Sure enough, one by one, half collapsed shells of house provide an offering of your value. I'm gonna give up. I don't want to get too lost in this place. A new day has dawned. A few hours past midnight, you woke by a soft, silken hiss. A blade slices through the fabric of your tent. The fabric falls away to reveal a pair of gleaming eyes, a crescent with yellow teeth, a gaunt figure with a knife in his hand. He steps carefully into your tent, apparently thinking you asleep. Behind him are the dim shapes of other men. Each night you bury your tools and your coin in a new location. There's not much in the tent they can steal, but they don't look like the types will be happy if they don't find anything worthwhile. You don't know what I've got in my thing. I could be holding something nasty in here. The man freezes, his grin widening. Oh, awake. Is ye? Yeah. Might be easy this way. Hand over your coins, food, anything you got. Companions in the tent behind him. 3 more men, all rail thin and desperate. A menacing step closer. You picked the wrong tent. I make swords. You think I can't defend myself? The leader hesitates, but only for a moment. 1. Smith, use your head. Ooh. Okay. I can't save. If we got load game, it should be... Right, that should be... Just before this all happens, so I could potentially go back to reverse time on this to help save myself. Failure. Rewind time! What? Ah, I will rewind time as many times as it takes to beat this. Stop rewinding time! No. I will keep you in forever in my time loop until I win. He pauses, eyes flitting across your muscular shoulders and strong, calloused hands. He attempts a smile. Let's get out of here, boys. I think we picked the wrong tent after all. Fees melt away into the night, leaving you alone in your sliced open tent. Not require a few hours of stitching to repair, but you're too tired to attempt it now. A few more hours of fitful sleep before dawn breaks. Yay! Hello. I'm going back to Lost City again. Maybe through Lost City, the harsh daylight throwing the ruins in stark relief. The sound of your footsteps echo eerily in the crumbling silence. At last you reach the Scrap Peddler's Square, a rubble-strewn market plaza reclaimed by weeds. The peddler perks up at your approach, his one visible yellow eye widening with excitement at the prospect of a customer. I'll save the prettiest trinkets for you, yesh. Ooh, good steal. Buy 5, I got 150, so... $25's that. That's my heirloom, so let's do that. Aaron's modular thinking. Ooh. Essentials. Make more guard types. You know what? I will think about buying more stuff off you. Exactly. Bandaged hands fluttering over his collection. The mule retches rapidly. You nod curtly to the peddler, eager to be on your way. Tell your friends of me. Tell them I'm not contagious, not at all. Alright, let's see what Joe's got. Oh, excellent. Now he only wants me to use like 7 small amounts of steel. I want to save some points. Yeah, actually no. I want to save some. Do some scrapping first. F salvage. Gold. Right, that's gonna cost me like 1 point each time I do it, so. However, I do pick up some lost steel, so I'll use. I can do him and her and get beneath her. A woman shuffles forward, her eyes red-rimmed and haunted. She has a sword in her hand that's clearly seen years of neglect. My husband passed away a few days ago. This is his blade. I told him it needed maintenance, but he insisted it was fine. What do you think? Yes, this blade clearly needs some work. I thought so. Could you fix it for me? I'm alone. I'm alone. I have a weapon I can rely on. Yep, I will forge away. It's sharpness of no one in here. Ugh. It's blunt for the most part. Right. Change width cross section, here we go. See, how do we change width? Point could be made sharper. Bring it back a bit. Get a good sharp point in this thing. Because you want a regular point. That's a better point anyway. Table with change width. Change thickness. You know what? I think I'll reduce the width a little bit. Change that one. Curvature. I don't know about that. Changing the thickness would have also helped, actually. Yeah, it would have been better to change the thickness. You know what? That should do. So, unmet requirements. Weight. Required between 17 and 37. weight is now. Wow, that's a massive change in weight. Again, it kind of makes sense because you're making it thinner. This is where getting putting in like a hollow, putting in a hollow grind, or follow would have helped out because it would take the weight off, shave the weight while actually reducing thickness or width. Nope. She tries to restore a blade with trembling fingers, tears in her eyes. This is so much better, even to my untrained eye. It was barely worth carrying before, was it? Thank you, Smith. A nameless sword, but that's fine. I kind of did it for the. I didn't have to spend any material on it. And XP was good. I needed something that might increase my toughness. Right, that's a spend any material on that one, so that's good. Oh, now Ryle's appeared. Riley. I had that guy puzzle already. Well, not the greatest but reason to doing stuff. You offered me 4 steel, a mystery reward, and 88 cash, so... This time I've started from scratch. Right. You're not looking for a long blade, so that's fine. Right. Okay. Let's change its thickness. It's a light blade. Two-handed and narrow-pointed. Point. Yeah, it's a sharp point blade. That's what you call a stabber. That's what I call weird. So this whole... There, now it makes it a little wider, properly. Sharpness of 0. I'm not sure how I get that, but asking about an edge on that one's supposed to be fine. That's the cross section. The moment it's a rectangle. You know, let's make a single edge blade. Sharpness 3. Wow. Convex. Alright, then we'll do another edge width. Change width to the opposite side. Oh, that's an interesting design idea, isn't it? Now it does make it look like a single edge blade, doesn't it? I just remove it entirely. Restore the blade to what it was. Let's see. Well, in terms of blade design parameters, these metal parameters. A metal parameter is sharp, it's mobile, it's got a little bit of stiffness to it. Not fast though. Let's see, point balance is 25 in, so where would that be on the blade? Let's see, whole blade left 75 there. Point balance of the blade would be, if that's 75, that's... So halfway around down here should be about 65, it should be about 35. So, you're looking about here-ish? Be a very interesting, odd two-hander if that's the case. I just like straightforward blades. I like them to have a little, you know, personality to the handles. If I could flip the things around, I'd have like thick. I'd be going thick to narrow to thick, like curves in the middle. Let's see, point balance is right back here at the moment. That's fine. It's not a heavier hand one. 15 brings it close to the blade. That's not too bad. It pulls it the weight point balance back here. Yep, that drags it slightly back again. Screw levers, rib levers. Good grip, but I'm going to offer the highness as is because I don't really need it. So the sword is taken, admired, then stowed away. Very nice. This should prove quite persuasive. The world is not fair, also fair, so it might as well be unfair in my favour, eh? Nameless sword created. Yo. Pigment, alabaster. See? Hello, Scrappy. Never runs out once obtained. Nice. Let's see, I got 100. William Block Flat, Ridge, Grillion. Part book teaching the following sword part designs. Ring, 4 ring, and 5 more. Let's see, what do I actually have? I got the companions. Guard, sellsword, pole wheel, I'll take a look here. And one more. Guard type person, his type H. The essentials, modular thinking, and twisted steel. I'm gonna buy that off you. Nope, I'm gonna buy this now. That off you as well. And I'll sell you the couple bucks. Bye bye, peddler. Bye bye. Tell your friends. Stranger. So I now have more designs for my weapons. I can add new tricks to them. End of the day. Daily, yep. Previous balance. Daily profit is minus. New balance 16. Stay in the forge. Explore the camp. Yeah, I'll go down the camp, see if there's anything going on. All that keeps your souls, make sure it becomes empty. Well, let's speak to Chef. You find Chef sitting outside a tent, gnawing on a chicken bone. A chicken bone that's already been picked clean. Nice to see you again. I just enjoyed my dinner. I'd offer you some, but I'm still waiting for my summer to power the perfect wine. What's the latest gossip around the camp? Oh, you know, the usual things. Petty fights and thefts. People die and new people turn up from the waste to replace them. What do you know about the magic barrier around Erin Keep? It appeared shortly after the Sundering, right? At the same time as the Master King took the throne. I don't know much more about that, sorry. Sorry. Thanks for stopping by. As I was going around the camp. The camp is an appalling spectacle, an ocean of mud and flies, with gaunt men and women sweeping a living amid the filth. Not far from your tent, recent rains have swept away the soil on a mass grave, exposing glints of yellow bone. All the rats are well fed out here. As they drop by the Munders, Bennett and his wife are nowhere to be seen. Old Gita sits in her chair, smiling vacantly, while the children stoke the fire and scrub out their iron pot. Clodo, the dog, trots up, wagging his tail at your approach. Kneels with the children, a boy with a twig thin art limbs and a sour face, looks up from his work and glares. What do you want? Where are your parents? Trying to score us some more food. That pot of stew didn't last long. Thanks for taking a bowl, by the way. I know that can't have been easy. You're as hungry as the rest of us, but we really needed that. My old man's got too damn generous for his own good. So pushes into your hand, tail whipping maniacally. I didn't get your name, kid. Sandrick, I'll tell my dad you stopped by. The boy just grunts when you bid him farewell. Clodo runs excitedly around you as you leave, then bounds back to resume his guarding of his family. Into your bedroom, messing your swollen joints and trying to ignore the rumbling in your belly. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. I must admit, I haven't actually eaten properly yet, so I should probably deal with something at some point. Right, let's see what today's gaggle of quests are. Griswold only wants 9. What's going on here? A hunchman shall sword you your handful. His hands black with dirt and shoulders strapped off his back. He's as short as a child, but as wide as a barrel. And he stinks of soil. I need a sword, Why do you need a blade? All sorts of scurrilous rumours being circled around this humble gravedigger. Swift, they say I steal from the dead. One man in particular, he thinks I took his wife's ring when I planted her in the earth, Well, I ask you, what does a dead woman need to have for a ring? There's supposed to be an understanding. I don't dig graves for free, and the dead are the ones who pay. The dead are dead. No use of worrying about offending them. Exactly my point. You and I'll get along well, methinks. What kind of sword are you after? Something that'll make him think twice about bothering me. He's bigger than me, but a good blade, even as yours, don't it? I'm not looking for trouble, I just won't be left alone to do my work in peace. Let's see, now... Most of these guys are 5s and 6s. Might head to the gate after this. What do you need it for? I can find coat safe from thieves. Well, most thieves. course, safety ain't free, got to eat right, and if some folk don't want to chip in for the greater good, well, Troll seems to find them. He yawns. Nothing too fancy with the sword, just make it big and sharp enough that the sight of it will put fear into the sensible man. Ruined helmet. They also offer me cash as well. 71, 84. Oh, it's Jamie. 84. You know, Jamie offers me more experience. Well, mates. In the camp, almost everyone is starving. The man who approached you, Anvil, is oddly well fed, his face fat, pink and healthy. Well met, Smith, could you make me a sword, something long and vicious? Sharp enough to cut bone. I've got a spot of hunting to do later, you know how it is. What kind of hunting do you do? As a secret, my friend, if everyone knew where to find such easy prey, why, they would all succumb to temptation. And where would that leave me? With an empty fork. Oh, I think not. I prefer to eat alone. Something suspicious about your manner. I don't like it. Just make the sword, Smith. Isn't that what you're here for? I don't think Jamie cut sharp and pointy enough to cut bone. Easy prey. Plenty of food. When everyone around here is starving looking for food, he's finding easy prey, which makes me think that his food walks on two legs. Ezekias. You don't seem well. I'm fine as well, that's wrong. Make me a sword, please, I beg you. Double me a ruined helmet, and learned farmers, which I need to make my wage tonight. 5 thing, and you know what? 5 him and her. They got some points for scrapping. Otherwise, I'll have no points left for scrapping anything. And I don't want to keep going to the merchant to buy my steel. I don't mind, but you know, one likes the idea of being able to make there you go. Right, length. Let's see, change thickness, let's make it a little thinner. We'll say about 74 for now. Regular point though. I'm not sure what really counts as being a sharp point. I mean, regular points are more rounded, less stubby. Not too narrow, not too broad, so about 50% point. Sharpness next. What thickness? What's that? Some width. Take the thickness down a little bit. Don't want to lose the stiffness, I want to keep it thick. Fairly thickish. So it seems a good 76% thickness seems to do quite well for shunting the sharpness. Regular point has gone away, so I need to make the point thicker. Now have more guards. Square cross, steel gun, sword essentials, and sword companion. That's a cheap one for Mel. Looks nice. I might make the blade a little thinner. thickness a little bit. Or should I say reduce thickness a little bit? Yeah, it squares up with the hilt, the pommel, the guard quite nicely. I want a nice. I want it to look good. Oh wow, we got wood. Ah, I thought we had more wood. 8 grams, 21 grams. 17 gram? Wow, that's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? Why would you put a ball there? I got miss two-handers like that. Pigment black. I'll leave that for a second because I need to go. I have need no wood. I also need some leather. I'll get some leather, so that's good. Oh, well, that's enough material to get the job done. I haven't run out of money. And excellent, we now own just enough wood. Oh wow, we could judge that close. Old man takes a sword and starts to mention the enemies. Get back, out my way, out, away from me. The man later turns into a hacking cough. He cycles away, swinging his sword as though clearing a path through invisible vines. I'll give it to another job. We got 6 leather. I definitely not ruin helmet. Got 17 steel, which is not the best, to be totally honest. On the other hand, I have now got my hands on this, but not these. I need to get to level 5. I'm on level 4, so I'm going to get this one. I can now scale my parts. We can now do some bending. Look at bending. Oh, that looks fun. You don't require material, so you're cash. Found this in the thing. Well, I just want some sharpness to it, and another point. Well, let's see. Cross section 1, cross section 2. Change 56% fitness. The point needs to be narrower. Nice and narrow. That gives me the sharpness. For a quick job like this is fine. Wow, that's gonna come in handy. Thank you, Smith. As long as you pay me, lad, I don't care. I got like next to no money. And I have nothing on me that's scrappable. I is going to be needing some materials. So I'll hit the peddler up again. By 10 gives me enough for at least some things a little big. 17 will at least give me a weapon or two. Mina, you also want me to look at Ross. Get back in the working. Yeah, no, 10 cash though. Yes, yes I can. I am certain. You want a regular point. Okay, well the point needs to be sharpened for starters. Taper width cross section. Well, actually lowered sharpness. Thickness can drop a little bit. Length is fine, weight is great, balance is all the way right here, it's a bit rubbish. A regular point. I prefer some stiffness to it, to be honest. You know, a little meat behind it was not stiff. Oh, regular point disappeared. There you go. Good as new, maybe better. Why, I bet this slice of lids from a man's eye before you can even blink. Cheers, Smith. My enemies will lament your name. Thanks. Tell your friends. Preferably bring your own weapon. Hell, bring your own steel, I can do all sorts. Unfortunately, I have nothing I can salvage. Well, end of the day. Upkeep of. I made 13 profit after spending stuff, and I've got 9 to my name. Look at the outer gate, see what they've got going on. They both camp, both Frets and Beacon. Refugees gathered, pleading for entry while impassive guards look on. If the wall ramparts getting out, his heavy lidded eyes look your way when you call for his attention. What you want? This is especially pronounced this evening. I want to enter the keep. You're a citizen or you got a worker's permit? No, but I'd like to apply for a worker's permit. I'm a blacksmith and I've been applying my trade out here for a while now. Yeah, and I'm a dragon slayer. Get out of here, applicant. You return to your tent where your makeshift forge awaits. You're hardly at your best, working with such limited materials, but still, that's all you have for the time being. I mean, I can literally, I've tried to show. Do I need, like, get to level 5 or something to show I'm really good at smithing? I need someone with a high paying job. Or people with a lot of low requirements. Oliver. Being too focused on just surviving. Could you fix it? Yes. Ooh, it's a oh wow, it's a shame on this, mate. You have a beauty of a sword. Nice, beautiful sword. A broad point, that's fine. Wow. I change faintness? Cross section. Table thickness. Sometimes the width, change the width can add some, actually add sharpness to it. Well, the point needs to be redone now. A little too nail. I'm gonna make tools like this. Really fancy. He examines the repaired sword with amazement, running his finger along the restored metal. It's like you brought it back from the dead. I owe you, Smith. Yeah, could you give me like 200 Fallion? That would be great. Give me 200 Fowlers. It would help me out immensely with a large sum of cash. Finally, that's spending material doing that, so that's good. Let's see. Tell you to get 2 done. Small drum and mystery object. Get some cash and some XP. According to this, I need 13 steel. So, and 9 steel and a small drum. Some scrap, old tools, cash and steel. See, 61, 68. I'd rather the job that gives me steel. You're bent over your anvil, banging on your hammers, when a sudden voice at your shoulder makes you jump. Hello, Smith. The man moves as quietly as a cat. He's small, wiry, and balding, head and eye, is almost lost within deep black circles. He looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. What do you want? My name's Stucker. I'll try to keep watch over the camp at night. Walk the perimeter, check on folk, warn off thieves. He rolled his face wearily. 3 nights ago, I caught some fellas trying to break into old Martha's tent. She's got nothing but a few scraps of food and some blankets, but they're going to take it anyway. I called out to them, told them to move along. They just laughed at me. What was I going to do? Fight them? Free them with a wooden club? I need a sword. Did they take anything? Aye, they did. The last bit of dried meat and the good blanket her daughter gave her before she died. Left the woman shivering and hungry. All because I had nothing but a lump of wood. Next time I'll give him a pause. Someone has to. The watch up in the keep don't care what happens down here as long as we don't cause them trouble. We're on our own. Well, I say, if we stick together, we can make the camp, well, not a nice place to be, but an unbearable place. But not unbearable either. Trouble is, people always want to claw at each other over who's got the most scraps. What kind of blade do you need? Nothing fancy, just something that will make thieves think twice whether they really want to push their luck. See, it cost me for steel used. Let's get that length up. I see, so by doing it towards this end, it actually lengthens it better. Alright, that's as much as I can afford to do that way. Change thickness. We're not going for anything really fancy here. Just a nice nice and sharp. Good. Isn't it at the point? It wants a regular point, so it's not too sharp and not too thin. A half, hand and a half. That's an interesting way of trying to put it. Hand and a half. Pigment black. You're able to scale sword parts. Pick up a sword part, then hold W and S to scale the part. Resource use as well as the part's weight. Handy for balancing your sword's physics. I mean, you don't have to put a pommel. You don't have to put a guard on stuff. So I'm gonna make it bigger. That's a hand and a half. Let's see. What's the lightest of these? Grab the hand and a half grip. Place the grip part, then grab the handle at the end to make it longer or shorter. I see. That's finally the hand and a half. Essentially, a hand and a half is when you put one hand on it, and you can only put half, and it's got half a hand either side of it. Hence the name, hand and a half. That's what that gets. Can I make it any smaller? That makes it bigger. So I think I've got to scale down as small as I can get. That's not hand and a half. That is though. Let's see. That's perfectly fine. Black pigment. That's scaling for you. If you scale the thing down, that's making a hand and a half. We're actually having a bit of trouble because we need to get our hands on money. It's the name of the sword, but here you go. A darn fine piece. We'll check what we're looking at for. He transfers his belt, adjusting it until it sits comfortably at his side. Thank you, Smith. The camp's lucky to have someone like you. I'm just doing what I can to help folk. I've been in this camp for years. I used to hide in my tent like a rabbit, but I'm getting old. I'm not too afraid of dying anymore. That's the thing, you start getting more militia types walking around. Thieves and other such will slowly start thinking, you know what? That's not a safe trying to jump up and rob people. Nice, 18 steel out of that one. But I need wood and leather. But yeah, 18 steel. Yes. I don't have to put any extra. What are you guys having a really fancy sword? Taper thickness, taper width, change width, cross section, you go. thin it a little bit. That's a quick ba-ba-bum job. Point needs to be broad, apparently. Where's a broad point? Okay, that's not so much broad, but it's, you know, it can be more rounded. Well, that's fine. Meet if you need. So much better. You know, to my own trade eyed. They were kind before. Thank you. Yay, I mean, well, I didn't make the sword, I repaired a fancy looking sword. Oh, we got 24 steel, that's not too bad. Wood is a little, but that's better than nothing. Is there? Yes, there's no of these. Alright. At least you've got a blade that's nice, but not like super fancy, so. Point first needs to go sharp and stabby. Right. Do 2 cross sections. Wow. All I had to do was flatten a little bit. And now reinforce the edge a little bit. Much better. Good work, Smith. Again, I didn't make that sword, but it looks nice. And I didn't use any of my steel for that, so that's good. I'll save off of mine going to the merchant because I don't need to sell or buy anything right now. It's just the end of the day. Well, yeah, I'm level 4. Daily upkeep. So I've got a new balance of 80. Try scrounging in Lost City. Lost City at night. Let's search for valuables. But no, look. Yeah, we tried hunting, scavenging, but there's nothing there. And my character refuses to go any deeper into that place. Alright, let's see what today's options are. Griswold wants a 10, start with a 10, offering us ruined helmet. Steel 62 and that. Larkin wants to be start at 14. These tend to have like old tools to leave like at least 18 steel out of it, so that's not too bad. I'll give you wood. Steel and wood. What? You'll say I'm mad, but we left that thing back in the waste. But they didn't see what it did to my brother. They had looked at me as they tore him limb from limb. It didn't hunt like an animal. It watched me, enjoyed my fear. I'm sure it's followed me all the way this way. I know what a sword can do against something like that. But I think having a sword is better than having it at all. No, sure, it cost me 13 to start it. Plus a little extra when I build the pommel and such. More steel. More steel. Okay, yes, left is fine. Which one's a blunt point? Which we got? No, okay, one more point for now for the cross section, right? She wants a blunt point. I'm not sure why you... I'm gonna put a point on, not much one. There you go. No, not blunt now. So much wants a competition chopper style. One-handed. There's we have made everything's a match to water at the moment. Essentials. Well, that's one, so let's give it a hand. Regular plain handle. A little short, now steel. Steel requirement. 20 steel spent. The weight balance is perfect. When it comes, I won't hesitate. Not like before. Not like when I ran and when they left him. When I left him. She pauses the pause lengthens until it becomes clear that she won't speak again. You know, a sword can only do so much if you don't know how to use it. It'll do enough. And again last night, closer than ever. Let it come. I'm not scared anymore. Well, I don't know if you're gonna survive or not, lady, but he's got a sword. You don't want to finish doing the steel option. Silver. Mr. Scrapper. If I say with 14 shot, I'll keep one steel gold to the side for now. Buy myself 39 steel. Maybe I should actually question him at some point. I'm not going to insult saying the blade, you know, the guy should have known better. Well, at least got this blade again, which is nice and easy. Just need the cross section to be sharpened a bit. Up the thickness. And there we go. Bubble. Quick, 1-2 jobby. I mean, it took more than 2 clicks, but it's, you know, quick 1-2. And it's cheap. It's a strangely cheap job that makes it easier. Maybe I'm just changing the thickness of this thing. And then knowing the cross section make it so much sharper. The point just needs to be tweaked a little. About 50% around the 49 to 50%, percentage range seems to be pretty good for broadsiding stuff. Maybe his broads was good. Yay. Another 10 for that. Let's talk to the merchant and ask some questions while he's in daytime. Yes, yes. What's your name, peddler? That's right, I'm a peddler. Scraps the game. Is anything strange in the ruins lately? The walls make songs sometimes, they do. Beautiful songs for the sleeping. Men with candles sneak out here to call up things from the dark places. But the dark places are not so easy to call, and I could tell them if they what they liked. The dark places do the calling. Nothing wrong, my skin just doesn't like me anymore, methinks. Once at a shop, a real shop with walls and a floor, then he gestures to his bandaged face with a giggling laugh. Now I have a mule. Mule doesn't care about my face. Mule supports me through the hard times. How long you asked? 10 years? 17? How long does the mule live? Okay, we'll sell his wares again, see. The wood's not too expensive to buy. But at the same time, I don't want to keep spending all my money buying wood. Bye, Petty. Alright, we've spent our actions for the day. Day's profit minus 19. No, yes. I'm gonna keep pestering the outer gate. We're getting close to level 5 here. I don't want if we come back every few days if we like him. However, so stop wasting my time. Well, you haven't told me how to get a worker's permit. And I keep making stuff. Chef approaches your anvil with rumours to share. Ooh, excellent. How do you make Stacker, self-appointed sentry who roams the camp at night, trying to keep order? He turned up dead. Suppose it was a matter of time. Apparently he tried to challenge a whole gang of thieves who were menacing an old woman. He didn't stand a chance. Took his sword after they killed him too. Oh, poor Stacker. Need more guys like him. Well, I'll give you a little wood. That's not a problem. Tankards, sharpness, material lever, half hand and half, narrow point, speed, and sharpness. Remains of a sword. The blade tip is snapped off in half. My old blades finally gave out on me. It wasn't much to look at, but I've carried that thing since the world fell apart, and I'm feeling like about it. Can you replace it? Sure, you. I can only choose one of these. It's currently fast right now. I don't think it cut much, but it's fast. Oh, the game will even let me have. Will even let me do anything until I make it longer. Because at the moment, it's out. I quite often keep getting speed. Okay. That was fine. Well, thin blade, it's not very sturdy. Still, sturdiness. I don't like having no sturdiness. point because it needs to be a point, narrow point. It's about as narrow as it gets. Stupidly, by changing thickness and get the speed and the sharpness back up. How to make the blades faster? I mean, I can do cross section one side. I know sharpness doing that, but I got a really sharp. Wow, that's what you call a needle blade. That tends to be a rapier. For sharpness, I need that. I'm going to change things a little more. Need to make some way to make it faster. Draws light and a little mess near the point. Ah, that might be helpful. Let's try adding the draws a hand and a half. I see, so we probably move the sense of point and balance to the back. That's a hand and a half, lady. Okay, make that blade wider then, because I've made the speed right. At the moment it just looks silly. Should be able to keep that speed up by making the because the point of balance is like right near this end. It's right down here this end. Now unfortunately I haven't yet learned how to make, you know, pointy bits and pull the material in different directions. I'm going to put a cross section, put a convex edge on it. Wow. One top tap was enough to make it weird, strange. Spine width. Now not speed down, that's fine, because we had enough points to make at least 2. So I'm happy with that. Material leather. Now let's make it crude ridge leather with walnut brown. Nice balance. So the more balance is this way towards the hilt. Right there. I have gold. Wow, I cost 2 gold just for that. I love how I have silver as well, but I don't. So now I just have steel. Actually, a wider handle is not a bad idea. Because it gives you a more... If it's a fast weapon, it seems... No, if you make it narrow, it's good for mobility. I'll go with this one, Speedy. There you go. Have a Speedy. Thank you, Smith. I miss having steel at my side. This might be even better than my old blade. Oh, this won't last as long as that one did. That thing carried me through the sundering and all the troubles that followed. Speedy. She paid well, though. Let's see, how much steel did I use on that one? Not too bad steel-wise. I've still got 23 steel, which is good. Ooh, now we have new things. Now fullers, fullers are fun because if you put a fuller in, you can actually reduce the weight without reducing the thickness of the overall blade. Because you're taking material out of you essentially grind the material in the middle thinner. You know what, I would have loved to have studied bladesmithing and being a bladesmith. It's just unfortunate that in the UK, owning anything more than 2 inches, more than 1.5 inches is considered illegal. And at some point I expect them to start saying box cutters and pen knives. A pen knife will be illegal. Or we could give ourselves the ability to make curved blades. Bend the parts, looks cool. I mean, I must admit that's whoever designed that looks awesome. But you know what, I'm going to make fullers. Yeah, I can also make side fullers next. Organized mind and bookkeeping. I think these are gives me scaling, salvaging mastery, treasure hunter and skilled sale. Okay, this section might be very handy for general world pop stuff. It might give me stats in these. Let's see, how much salvage do I have? I got 1 piece of salvage I can do. We'll do a masons. Yes. We'll do masons and get another 10 cashew. I just want sharpness. Half the guys that come to me just want sharpness. Just doing that made it sharp. Doing that made it... Ooh, balance was almost thrown out. I can tweak that though by making... I can adjust those bits. But you go, Mason. Ooh, regular point apparently. The point is not pointy enough. But now the balance is wrong. Oof, close on that one. Taper width. Taper thickness. No, we can only meet all parameters. Let's give him the sword. Edge, much better. Good work, Smith. Thank you. I try. I don't have to do anything with that one. That's just like pay for itself. So I suppose I keep the tankers for now. I mean, I can salvage one. Now, if we salvage one, get more wood. But that's just a thing. Be careful. Apparently, I got silver out as well somehow. Let's go past the guard again. As you borrow your tools for the night, now can't be too careful, you hear the sound of a heart-piercing scream. You find the camp in chaos, figures running back and forth, knocking down tents, wailing, stumbling. The sun has slipped below the horizon and darkness begins to fall. As you search for the cause of the panic, there's a sickening thud. A corpse has fallen from the sky and landed on top of your bonfire, quenching it instantly. A winged shadow circles above, bolting out the emerging stars. It elicits a shriek that turns your bowels to water. I don't think I'm going to get this one, so. Creature silhouette is unfamiliar to you. It shrieks unlike anything you've heard before. You can only guess what horrors this nightmare might be capable of. Someone around the camp are drawing swords and trying to organize a defense. You recognize your recently forged blades among those waving in the air. The creature's first dive is repelled by blades jamming at its scything limbs, but it's too fast, too massive. It retreats into the air and then swoops down elsewhere, targeting other defenseless prey. Essentially, everyone who we've been giving swords to suddenly stabbed the thing and suddenly found itself flying towards a wall of steel. Watch helplessly. I don't have anything to fight with. It descends on a fleeing woman, its jagged forelimbs plucking the doomed soul. The beasts descend. Later, the victim's carcass splatters to the ground. You know what? Yeah. Lead people to safety. You rush around the camp, grabbing survivors and shaking them free of Ter's grip. You direct them to take shelter beneath the wagons and rocky outgrowths, anything that's more substantial than a tent. Also makes it hard if the thing wants to charge us, it's got to land or get closer, and the thing it does, those with swords will run up and stab it. If they can get it near the ground, actually if you can get one or two people to jump on its back or stab its wings, cut its wings up enough and it can't if you can stop it from flying, drop it to the floor and stop it from flying, even if it's more dangerous, you can then surround and attack from all angles. Every time you stab from the back, it'll probably turn around to try and attack what's stabbed it, at which point someone else stabs it. Essentially use mob tactics. But the camp is vast, and you can't protect everyone. The slaughter continues unabated. At last, as more and more refugees flee for cover of the lost city ruins, the beast strays too close to Erin Keep. The invisible barrier crackles and suddenly alive with pale blue energy. Fierce tendrils of power skitter in all directions like cracks spraying through glass. And the beast shrieks in agony. Chastity it swoops away, finally banning its banquet. A terrible silence falls, broken by occasional sob, and at long last it's over. I am exhausted now for 2 days. You wander the camp, reuniting separated families and comforting the bereaved. Finally, once you're so exhausted you can barely stand, you stumble back to your tent and fall into a dreamless slumber. Ugh. The morning air is crisp. I bet the camp looks even worse now. The sun shines on devastation. Survivors wander the camp, some clearing away the bodies, others drifting aimlessly. Tattered tents extinguished fire, bloodless corpses scattered the camp like autumn leaves. As you're surveying the camp, a woman in a patchwork shawl hurries towards you, her face pitched and gaunt. She's dragging a small girl by the hand. I don't know if you remember us, Smith, but you kept me and my little Anya safe last night. Without you, I don't know what we'd have done. She spreads a few coins into your palm. I don't have much, this is all I can give. I'm glad I could help. Luck be with you, Smith. Thank you so much again. As you hold away, her young child stumbling along beside her, you can't help but feel a surge of pride. I'm inspired! Ta-da! You stop short when you arrive at the tent. The iron pot has been knocked over, the fire has been burned itself out. The tent itself is tattered wreck, soaked in blood and gore. The beast ripped the tent apart, and then ripped apart those within. There's more than one body, but the two badly mangled are still apart. The torn remnants of old Gaia's patterned dress flutters in the breeze. Chodro is nowhere to be seen. You turn away. You find her standing outside her tent, clutching her forearms, eyes fixed on the middle distance where the creature had vanished. She doesn't notice your presence. She jumps, startled, and offers you a warm smile. Wan smile. Lucky he's alive, I guess. Ah, it's a shame. I gave him blades. What was that thing? That was a Valguf, I think. We heard rumours about them back when we started fleeing Kurev. Terrible tales of them swooping down and killing whole caravans full of people. I thought it was all just some hearsay until last night. I hope you're right. Drops a gaze finally from the sky. Did you lose anyone you knew? Oh, how terrible. I mean, I didn't know them, but that's awful. She falls down for a respectful moment, then sighs. Thanks for checking in on me. There's a lot of hurt people out there. I'm going to go see if I can help. As you make your way back to your tent, you spy a growing crowd forming around the outer gates. A mob has formed at the gate, shouting at the guards. It's a volatile situation, born of grief and rage and fear. Survivors of the attack voice common complaint. The guards did nothing to stop the massacre. But their complaints more basic. They're still stranded outside the city with no reprieve in sight. You suspect the guards would happily retreat to their stone parapets, but the wagons are rolling in, the gates need to be opened. Watch the disaster unfold. The guards fan out from the gate, trying to keep the shouting refugees at bay with their shields. Back! Get back! But the usual tactics won't work today. One by one the refugees draw swords. Sharp blades glitter in the morning light, and you recognize your own handiwork. Drop the weapons or... The rest of the watchman's words are lost in a gurgle as someone thrusts a blade through his throat. The mob surge as the guards retreat, shouting for reinforcements while the wagons is toppled onto its side and set on flame. Looters pull crates from the burning wreckage, yelling in triumph. You beat a hasty retreat as more and more guards pour out the gate, swords drawn, ready to enact bloody vengeance on any applicant foolish enough to have lingered. Well, you know, if you're going to sit there and watch the whole massacre take place, you know, that's going to happen. If you guys, on the other hand, had started firing crossbows, yes, you may have hit some guys in the outside, but if you'd hit the creature at least once or twice, you could have driven it off or pushed it further afield, or bought time for the guys below to do something. Hell, a swarm of pikemen would have been nice. We have Diplomacy 4, Finesse -1, because we're tired. I think we'd have Diplomacy 2, but we've got 2 points of inspiration. Anyone want some points for scrapping? I haven't got much scrap actually. Let's see who's got me. You'll go for me scrap. That's good. Wow, you offer me a lot. And a lot of cash. That's what I'm saying again, the person... Oh, you want impact. Need a point. So essentially you want the weight at the point, not the handle. Should we do it? So as long as I go 7 in usage, we should be fine. At the moment, it actually meets all the requirements, being a heavy lump of metal. So if I do a width, if I do a width for the front, moment it meets requirements. It's not really a sword, it's a lump of metal. You know, impact went down, but I have a plan for this. I'll change fit width, but I only want to change it at this end. And when I'm at a point, alright, let's do the thickness down the length, width and length. Weird. Yeah, that'll do, because I want a sort of like a broad thing, and then I want to put a tape on it. That's an impact. Yeah, I'm gonna go with weird weapon at the moment. One-handed blade. And we'll put that. It's a bit of an odd duck. You know what? I like the weirdness. A bit like oh god, like the boar sword. I think the boar sword. I don't remember the name of the sword exactly, but there's a sword where it's like it's like that, but it thickens out near the end. My weird creation. Blade is not sharp. Won't let me have it unless I actually put a cross section on it. It's now sharp. Somehow it's sharp. I don't want to say how it's sharp, but it is. Ooh, meat fuller. That's in the impact. Oh, I'm going to change thickness. Impact plus 3. It's a heavy beast. But that's its whole job. It's designed to go whack. I do like the way I've actually structured this, where it goes in and then thickens out again. Oof, that's a lot of steel. Right, with I'll miss having steel on my side. My old blade is a weird blade. Thankfully, you got old tools which will give us some steel. It's dross. That's good. These ones are good for a quick bit of quick bit of cash. Don't need to do much with it. I wonder if the guards at the gate are going to be letting me in. It's like, well, would you rather me stay out here making swords for everybody, or let me through the gate. Because eventually, the guys with number of swords out here are going to surpass the guys with swords near inside the gate. You know, I'm just saying. Eventually, you know, if you're not careful, there are going to be more people with sharp, pointy things on this side of the wall. Let's see. Steep edge angle of wide and thin blade provides the best rating. Can be the cut. So a wide blade, so I don't mind if it being wide. So that actually improves the sharpness. According to the thing, so a nice sharp blade is a nice width and smooth, so the less of the ridge in the middle, the better. Home to a micromolecular edge. Oh, the point's wrong. Hold on. My bad. There you go. Wow, that's going to come in handy. Thank you, mate. Smith. Again, Guardy boys, do you want me out here making weapons all day? Because, I will just keep forging weapons. And you will keep having to wonder if the next time you fight the people outside, the heavy hand, Gladius, how much longer until the guys outside have more steel than you guys? I can see why it's 75, because these things can be like 18 plus what? 18 steel out of it. So I'm spending 50 on that, but that would actually give me more steel. But I've got 33. That's enough for that's enough steel to get me through another build. Another larger build. Yep. Minus 20 for keep. Let's go check out the gate after the aftermath. Looms of the capital. Approach the gate. The guy is slouching against the ramparts. What do you want? Sneers especially pronounced this evening. Oh, then let's keep. Get doors before I gut ya. Wow. Not even the case of get your thing, there's now an angry version. Angry because they're getting attacked. As the great light of dawn filters into your tent, you hear the tramp of boots through the mud and alarmed cries of your neighbours. Something is happening. Watch out, Smith, the guards are in camp. I think they're here for... Your tent flap is torn open. One of the Urnkeep's guards peers in, sword drawn. You, out! Why? Because I said so. Out before I have my men rip this tent to pieces. As you climb out of into the light, rough hands seize you. Looking around, you can see a full squadron of guards have ventured from the outer gate, led by a woman with pitch black hair and a severe glare. She's standing over your anvil, contemplating it with unreadable expression. This is her, Sarge, the one who's been arming the applicants. You recognize this fellow as the same guard you spoke to outside the outer gate. There's a tree over there. Looks good for a light for a noose. Shall we get started? The guard was killed in the riots, and 2 more are in the infirmary. All thanks to you arming this rabble with blades beyond their station. You were the one who told me to prove I was a blacksmith. Were you more comfortable with bullying refugees when they only had sticks and stones? They only just a string of obscenities, some of them quite inventive. Red-faced and puffing, he strikes you across the face with the hilt of his sword, opening a nasty gash on your lip. Shut up. He was ready to say more, but his commanding officer raised their hand. The guard shuts his mouth instantly. Where did you get the idea we were going to hang this woman, Corporal? But Sarge, a guardsman is dead. Someone has to pay. The applicant who killed Briggs has been slain, along with 6 applicants. Justice is done. If we blame the smith, what next? Find the man who dug the ore and kill him too? Sarge! One more word out of your mouth and I'll have you flogged. You were supposed to be on the lookout for a small swordsmith, and now I see there was one under your nose for who knows how long. Rank incompetence. Well, they were supposed to find the swordsmith for him. Swordsmith. And I've literally walked up to the gate and said, I'm a blacksmith. Well, what do I have to do to prove it? I've been making swords. And I even came up to him and said, but I've been making swords for who knows how long now. For days now. I still stick by my statement there. It seems he was more comfortable when the guys outside the gate had only sticks and stones, and they could bully them. Now there's quite a few armed people in here. There's more armed people. I've been making swords for the last couple of days, and I've been arming quite a few people. And I've been repairing swords that have been found. So yeah, there's more swords out here now. And if this kept on going, again, I wonder how long it would be until there were more swords outside the city than inside the city. You know, when 50 or 60 more people have got swords, they might suddenly start looking at the guards, and make the guards rather nervous when there's people with a load of people's swords out there, with nice, finely honed swords. So we'll have to play lip for that one. The guardsman suddenly seems very interested in his own boots. Yes, you are in trouble because she asked you to find a swordsmith. Find a swordsmith. And a swordsmith walked up to the gate, presented themselves as a swordsmith, came back days later presenting themselves as a swordsmith, and you still refused to even contemplate the work. You could have literally have said, right, you'll notify anybody, take 2 guys, have someone come take his shift, walk over and check out my handiwork. With a dull blade if you wanted. I told you I was a bladesmith. So what do you want from me? You have no use. You have no use to earn keep if you're an untalented smith. Make a sword for me, something I'd be proud to have on my hip at the parade ground. If I'm satisfied with the quality, then congratulations. You're earn keep's newest swordsmith. If I'm unsatisfied, maybe I'll let the corporal hang you after all. The guardsman brightens up at that. We don't care about the herd out here. The way I see it, it's good if someone comes along, if something comes along to fin it every now and then. Shout from the sergeant, the entire squadron swirls on their heels and marches back toward the gate, jamming spears at any applicants who get too close. You wake up with a groan, every bone aching. You've treated your wounds with staunch moss, but still blood soaks the bandage. It's going to be a tough day. Alright, I've got some cash for paying things. Missing skill ability, curved blades. Right. Want a curved blade? Ugh, well, my next Well, maybe a day or two then. I need to get another couple 100 points. Right, you're on the back burner, my dear, until I finish doing stuff. So I won't keep Tom safe. Only Steel can do that. Well, this boy, Bandit put an arrow in him when he was crossing the Nettle Bridge. I don't know why, we had nothing to steal. That we avoided the roads, we had our way through the deepest part of the bleak woods, but that was a mistake. There's things in those woods. Something took my daughter, snatched her out of my tent. At night I heard her scream, but never saw. I'm sorry. No, but I'll learn. I've heard stories about what happens in the camp, people taking children, selling them for worse things. I want that happen to my Tom. What can you afford? Much going left, but I'll give you everything I have, whatever it takes. He's only 4 years old. Understand why his sister and brother aren't with us anymore. I won't lose him too, not without a fight. Except you're gonna give me a helmet and some old tools. You can wait, you're a bully. Right. Lightweight. This is where Fuller's going to become very handy because I can make the weight lessen the weight. And get speed. And get good speed. Right, that'll do. Which one's good mobility? Sharpness isn't too important to us, so long the mobility is good. Well, I can do that definitely with Fuller. Narrow point. Looks sharp, so you want to put this probably in the 760s range. Nice sharp narrow point. One-handed type, not a problem. Speed, not a problem. Cross section, let's make this thing sharp. Probably make a little thinner. We're going to put a smooth ends. Nice. I put a smooth foot in there. That should shave the some weight off. Let's see. Weight is nice and low. Speed should improve if I put something near the end. Well, that's the point, so should be better this end. So as I put the guard on it. So it's feeding out this end of the wood. That's fine. Nice north thing. Mobility is still good. Might make it thinner or wider. Well, again, it's a nice stiletto type blade. Pigment in black. I only have. I actually need black pigment. Oh, looks like well, that was what does it. Oh well. Black, nice and shallow, nice and pointy. Thinner. Speed, mobility up. Sharp, fast, agile. This blade will slice and dice. Slicer. See the sword with trembling hands, testing its weight. The grip is uncertain, but our eyes are hard. It's heavier than expected. She calls softly to her son, who is playing in the dirt nearby. He looks up, his fingers black with mud. Come here, Tom, stay close to Mama. The boy runs over and clutches her leg. She rests a protective hand on his head while keeping the other on the sword's hilt. Thank you, Smith. I pray I never have to use this, but if I do, I will think it. Well, I think it'll do the job. Stay safe out there. It's not safe out there, Smith. None of us are ever safe, but maybe I can make it a little more safe for my boy. Slicer. It's a sharp blade, thin. Thin, sturdy, sharp. And it's fast. Whoever goes after her ain't gonna know what hit her until it's too late. Right, I need to salvage out the steel and get some. Yeah, I won't get any more work done today, but because I had negatives that reduce my action points. But you know, wounded, AP and toughness. Yeah, but you're inspired, so XP and diplomacy. Yeah, my plus 19. Unfortunately, I didn't spend. I'll search the camp. Well, my friends are gone, so that's sad. I would like to have made more weapons for him. One of the camp. Hello. Clodo? Clodo? When you notice Clodo runs up like his tail, then he flashes off, pausing to look back. Follow. You follow Clodo through the ravaged tents, covering your nose to keep out the foul smell of death and disease. And last you arrive at the spot where Mordo's tent used to stand. Now there are 5 freshly dug graves in its place. Beyond you, you spot a small figure crouching over a dwindling fire. Approach the boy. You recognize Sandrick Morda, Bennett's elder son. If he recognizes you in turn, he shows no reaction. His face has been etched into a permanent scowl. Claude runs up to the boy's side and lays down. The boy scratches his neck absent-mindedly, poking the fire with a stick. I know you. Nothing more. His voice carries far more weight and grief than his rightful one so young. No reaction. Choro whines and he rubs his head against his shin. He simply shrugs. Well, you see no evidence of his family. The once vibrant Morda clan has been reduced to 1. Well, 2. The dog is here, comforting the boy as best he can. You pull a hunk of bread from your pocket, your meal for the night. The boy's eyes light up. Although afraid you'll withdraw the offer, he quickly snatches the meal from your grasp and splits it in two. Half goes to Choro, who snaps it up in 2 bites. Thanks. Instantly, the boy speaks up. If you come back and I'm not here, look after Choro, will you? Poor dog's got no one else in the world. Marty barks, his huge tongue lolling out his mouth and his tail beats the dust on the floor. Leave the 2 of them together. Boy and dog, alone in a hostile world. At least they have each other. You lie in wait for camp's outskirts. Twilight turns dusk, the wagon appears on the horizon. Spike wheel churning up the storm of dust in its wake. Black armoured guards set up the wagon, wielding fierce looking crossbows. If they spot you, you're likely to end up with a punch full of holes. But you're in luck. A child runs out in front of the wagon, almost ending up in mince beneath the wheels. The man pulls to a halt and the guards shout at the boy to get out of the way. We'll reload if we fail this. Yay! Right. Dart out, a shadow among shadows, and hoist yourself up into the wagon. After a heart-stopping moment, you relax. The merchant is leaning out the window, distracted by the shouting outside. In one swift movement, you grab a nearby bag and slip out the way you came. The wagon is already rumbling back into motion. No time to lose. It's filled with strips of salted meat and chunks of black bread. Enough to keep you fed for days, unless you wanted to repay Bennett Morda's kindness and share the haul with his family. Unfortunately, the merchant Megan seems to have been up to the paranoia since your theft. If they run past but one by one, the guards are keen-eyed and the drivers won't stop for anything. How are you holding up since the attack? Well, let's have a troll soon at night. But I'll survive. A lot of people were killed, good folk, who were out in the open trying to save others. Why are the good folk always the ones who suffer? Well, so this is Gothas around camp. Oh, you know the usual, petty fights. Yeah. The food on your cloak. There's no room for sentiment in the camp. You save here from hungry neighbours, you tear into the bread and meat with savage glee, dignified as wolf and carcass. It's cold and salty and stale. It's the best thing you've ever tasted. Well, I've got the well-fed trait. Oh, my toughness went up. Probably because I've eaten. As a pay, you know what? It makes me wonder if I'd have done that earlier, if I'd have stole the food earlier and then gone to the Moore's tent, Bennett's tent, to give them some stuff back. Then they might have had so much. They might have survived. But see, I don't know. I'd have to replay this game and choose. You can stay waiting as long as you like. You're not a nice person. See how much wood I've got. Steel I've got. Leather I've got. Jason. Long ago, and I'm tired of being counted on the weak. A good blade might change this equation. Give me silver. Okay. Why are people giving me silver? But I need to forge some. I need to forge. Get to next level and get my level up, or I will not be able to get more things. Ooh. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. No. Good. I don't. Jesus. Okay. Avoid. I'm sorry I did this now. Oof. Okay, that's better. My eyeballs are fine. Back to normal. Oof. Wow. Oh, that was some bright ones on that one. Hey! You know, the sharpness of 1? Man, that's a lot light work. Yeesh. That should do for that. And the cross section. There you go. I mean, I could have literally made a one-sided blade, so that's a regular point. So that's about 50. So up to 48 is what I need. Putting on the thickness here. I want to put a rounded fuller. And I want to put the blade, but not starting at the very tip. The ricasso. I think because it's not wide enough, or this is too sharp in. Width. Yeah, I think I need to make this better. This band width is too thin, you see. See, we have a shot. See, we now have Hey Fuller, I am well beyond what you required, you asked for, but you're going to have a nice looking blade, so... You want that one. You want the... one of these? You want the essentials. And you need a one-hander, so... mild taper, slim. Just nicely with a... what's a fishtail? Gonna be wood, a thing. Do we need anything else attachment? No. Looks like you've pretty much got what you wanted. My first proper Fuller. Low weight, high balance, good thing. Grim satisfaction, his mouth twisted in a bitter smile. Perfect. Now I suppose who thinks I'm easy prey will learn otherwise. The bandits in this campus might have to start worrying whether or not the person in the tent's going to be armed with a rather nasty weapon. Level up. Yay! I don't really want to make sword weapons for you. You get a level 9 for that. Curved blade. That's what she wanted for a blade, a weapon, I believe. Yeah, ability curved blades. Now I can do a quest requirement. I would really like... you might want some material wood. Or at least 5. Two-handed, narrow point, slightly curved. Silver. Do we have any silver? That's... hold on. I got silver, but not in the state you can have it. Well, again, it's not allowing me to scrap it, so I do have silver. If I scrap that, I'd have more iron, more steel, but not enough points to do the activity today. I mean, I could technically put her off until tomorrow, get some more cash. But she's a story quest thingy, so... well, you got one chance, it has to be leagues above the blades you've made so far. Yeah. Sharpness 2, no problem. I'm going to get my sharpness up. Silver, gold. I have gold. I have 1 gold. And, help! Got all my gold today. Yes. But you think you buy all gold? What do you need though? Because I need it. I needed gold. I've got no choice in the subject matter. Saffron. The pigment would be nice. But we'll save that. We'll probably be... I don't think this will be the last we'll see of this peddler. I don't think she'll immediately let me into the city. Right. We accepted. Time to forge. Start with everything as all blades. We make it long. You can't do anything with the sword as it currently is. It's just a lump of iron on the table. We'll put it up to the upper end of the length. So that's fine. Okay, we got all sorts now. Maybe let's do something about the camera thing, because if you're scrolling up and down with the mouse wheel to see all the options, you go too far, you'll then start reversing out the screen, bouncing out a little bit. Narrow point. So we should probably need this around the 60 mark. do the 35, because we might lose a bit when we curve it. Curvature. Maybe reverse hammer. Can we go the other direction? Nice. Like a scimitar. So all you've got to do is make sure you tip curves. Anyway, point. It's fine, it's still showing pointy. What's two-handed and what's sharpness? Take the follow up 2/3 of the blade. You gotta get to 100% before you're allowed to actually start tweaking the thing. Alright, now let's deal with the cross section. A single edge. There you go, single edge blade. Nice cross section. And that's going to be a nasty blade. It wouldn't surprise me if someone actually managed to do the Masamune on this. If you're really good with it and you're really good with stuff, this sort of stuff, you could probably get it. I made it sharper still. That should actually do for the blade. No, look out for the sergeant. I literally only have it. Literally hasn't got one thing on it. Actually, that's not bad. That's not a bad pull for it. I haven't unfortunately got the ability to bend these up and down. I haven't got that effect, the ability of that. She wants a two-handed blade, so I need not enough wood. Right. Hold on a second. My blade is not yet finished. I know that, but I need more wood. How long will be the last time I saw this guy? Thank you. I need more wood for the weapon. I like the fact the game remembers what you've done, so you don't have to redo it all again. Actually, wouldn't surprise me if someone made the Buster Blade on this. She wants gold. Well, I got 5 gold. Okay, it was a better resource to be in the pommel then. Ability. It's one of the light ones. This is 300 that one. Maybe make doing the pommel with gold? Might make it better. Sure, have an emblem. Material silver, material gold. Well, that does cover me for material gold. I have more silver, so... Dear God, I only had just enough silver and just enough gold. Fine wood. That's pretty nice. Dress. Kakarot, cool lady. Let's go to the dresser. For a dresser sword. I mean, it matches everything she requires, every one of her requirements. Sharpness, speed, well, it's got also speed and impact. It's got material for silver, gold, wood, two-handed, narrow point, slightly curved. And that's it's done. The blade that will spell the difference between entry to Errand Keep or swinging at the end of a rope. Chev has been watching you work the forge for the last hour, hovering at the periphery of your vision encampment. Is this it? Are you done? There's nothing more I can do. Just have to hope. This is it. Good luck, Smith. She pulls you into a tight embrace. I remember what I said about my uncle. If you do make it to the city. Yes. I wonder if I got a note for this one still. The captain wanted a sword. I made a sword. Probably actually my fancy looking sword I've made, to be honest. So actually, I'm going to check my Steam thing here. Yes. It keeps your notes for this. And you look for Lucas Boriona. Alright, let's end the day and go talk to the evil captain lady. How do you get money for this? You owe me money. You owe me cash for this. I had to spend on this. Cop up at least 200 for this. The guys out there can pay 60 to 80. You can spend at least 100. Okay, well, impassive guards look around on. The guard is slouching as Aaron pass, gazing out. You'll wait only when you call for his attention. Huh? What do you want? Now sneers. I finished making the sergeant's sword. The guard looks you up and down from atop the wall. At last, with a roll of his eyes, he turns and bellows a command. The portcullis rises, the gate doors swing open. I'm going to see if you swing one day, worm. Hopefully today. Come down here and test the sharpness of my blade anytime you want. I've got at least 60 people back out here that are willing to show you how sharp I can make them. You walk into the gatehouse and wait for the sergeant's arrival, suffering the impatient glares of the guards. The sergeant is otherwise occupied. By the time she arrives, the first rays of dawn are in the sky. Well, let's see it then. She takes the sword in hand, holding it up to the light. She twists the blade this way and that, her eyes glittering. Your heart stops beating until she finally pronounces, "Acceptable. By official decree of the Crown, sanctioned under the grace of the Masked King, I declare you worthy of stepping into the role of Errand Keep's new swordsmith." Her voice is flat and emotionless, one eyebrow arches as she awaits your reaction. Thank you, praise the Masked King. Aye, well, indeed. Remember, your entry into the keep is a privilege, not a right, and it can be taken away as easily as snapping my fingers. Your every waking moment should be spent on considering how you can be useful to the city. There's an empty forge in the artisan's quarters that has not been maintained since the previous smiths vanished. It is now your duty to fix it back up and start supplying swords to the city as soon as you can. Consider this part of your rehabilitation into civilized society. Wait, the previous smith vanished? You'd best think about that before you get up any mischief. Yeah, but for a city like this, the swordsmiths are like worth gold. In a city like this, there are two professions, or should I say, technically combined together, but there are two professions that they do not let you do not lose at the risk of losing your city. The blacksmith, and by extension, the swordsmith. Now, you can train someone to bake. Anyone can be trained to bake. Anyone can be trained to do a lot of things. Carpenters, but things like carpenters, smiths, be they bladesmiths, armourers, or general smiths, take years to train up. You don't get a new smith immediately. It's like, yay! And just expect them to churn out the weapons. Now the guy who spends bladesmithing for a week isn't even going to compare to the guy who's been smithing for at least a year. The difference in their skill and quality and skill would be absolutely ridiculous. Even if they're a savant or one of these prodigal geniuses, it won't matter, because there's also, you got to build up the endurance to smith to do it as well, and you got to build up a knowledge of how to work the steel. Now, genius is smart, great, but the problem is practical application of the skill is not quite the same as theoretical. And a well-trained smith can literally look at steel and with a few taps of his hammer know how to move it. March of the way, leaving you standing in awkward silence beside the gate guardsman. Here. Piece of parchment bearing the masked king's crimson wax seal is thrust into your hands. He grants you the right to work within the Ern's Keep until such time as His Majesty deems otherwise. You have gained a permit allowing you to live and work in Ern Keep. Yay! Get out of here. Can you give me directions to the forge? Just shut up. Go. You're lucky you don't have a noose around your neck. You're lucky. Yeah, well, don't blame me if you get stabbed. Emerging from the gatehouse, you find yourself in the last safe city in all of Talenda. Yay! That was the prologue. Wisps of smoke from morning cook fires trace corkscrews in the sky. The dawn air is filled with hum and bustle of the city waking up. You approach the first friendly face you see, a tall young youth with a broad frame and large mop of straw-coloured hair. He's hauling a wheelbarrow stacked high with leather hides. Hello, can I help you? Apparently there's a forge somewhere with my name on it. I'm the new swordsmith in town. Oh! You're Fessen's replacement. I've got a delivery to make, but there's wheelbarrow of goods and shrugs. A short detour won't hurt. I'll show you the way to the forge. You got 2070. You sure it's quite heavy? Taking the handles, you quickly find the truth of the words. The barrel is heaped high with tower of swaying leather hides, and your muscles, still weakened by the starvation and illness, shudder under the strain of controlling it. Aww. For some reason he's blushing as though he's embarrassed. So sorry, I'll push from now on. You know, his muscles ripple as he lifts the heavy loaded barrel. Despite his meek demeanour, he's clearly got the sinew of steel. As you follow the man through the streets of Ern Keep, you can't help but marvel when was the last time you saw people look so happy and well fed? So many intact houses, so many proud spires. What do you mean when I said I was Fersen's replacement? Fersen Felber, Master Swordsmith, went missing a few months ago. No one else in Erin Keep can make high-quality blades. He went missing? What happened? You'd have to ask someone else. I'll sometimes deliver levers to old Fersen, but I didn't speak with him much. He scared me, to tell the truth. I've never met a man who could scowl like that, like a walking thundercloud. Hopefully whatever happened to him doesn't happen to me. The youth laughs awkwardly. You focus on steering his barrel across the section of uneven cobblestones. You know, my father was a smith too. Back before the Sundering. Back when he was... He hesitated, searching for the right word. Around. My elder brother was a true apprentice. The one meant to inherit the forge. But I picked up a few things. You know, there's likely room at my forge for an assistant. Really? Aye, good assistants are hard to come by. Expression fades. He glances down at his wheelbarrow. Unfortunately, I'm stuck working for the tannery. How come? It's a long story, but I'm in deep debt to the Halsberg League. Their merchant guild who run all the trade in and out of the keep. They have me working at the tannery until my debt's cleared, and you can't defy the league and keep and live. There's some way of getting out of this. Well, you could talk to the owner of the tannery, but he's not exactly a reasonable man. The air buzzes with laughter and friendly chatter. The market stalls, bustles, coins, and rumours are swapped. It's almost enough to make you forget the guards who stand at every corner, hands on hilts and their swords. Here we are, the Artisan's Quarter. Your forge is just ahead. There it is, a sprawling building by the canals, stone chimneys stacked juttering stubbornly against the sky. The door is hanging off its hinges. Thank you for guiding me here. It's no problem. He sticks out his hand. Name's Caswin, by the way. Nice to meet you, Smith. There'll be a space at my forge if you ever get free of the tannery, Caswin. Appreciate it. New journal entry recruiting Caswin. Matt, the tannery. Let's take my workshop. Well, I don't have mud under my feet, and that's about the only improvement we got. The door yawns open, spilling sunlight into a long-necked domain of dust and cobwebs. A rat skitters away into the shadows. Check the storage area. Luckily, the cache supply is still here. Enough to keep you in business for a few days at least, but it won't last forever. Oh, that's a lot of steel. You'll need to find an ironmonger who can keep you supplied with good steel, a carpenter who can supply wood, and someone who sells decent quality leather. No one at Erin Keep knows the forge is back in business. If you put some posters around town, you'll get the word out. You take time to scratch some rude advertising on scraps of parchment, your name, your address, and motto. Today's victory is tomorrow's heirlooms. Metal to match your metal. Carnage blades at cut price rates. I'll go with that one. That was awesome. Nice play on words as well. That should do. You put quill to paper and soon have some posters ready. Stale air holds barely an afterthought or the scent and sound of iron, flame and smoke. But all the tools are here. As Chimney holds his breath, the anvil is still tuned, and the anvil is still tuned, and your hammer strikes a prelude, and your flint rasps the count off as you light the fire. What's that one? Nice cheap one. This time we move from wooden swords to a real thing. An older figure. With a face bearing the weight of too many years. A gift for my grandson. Sure, we'll forge out. It won't be too hard. It's a blade for a kid. Hopefully a kid that's not like really young. Made that mistake in Medieval Blacks in the Medieval New game. Oh, we'll reverse this a little bit and make it a little thicker. Let's see. Narrow point? Why you want a narrow point for your grandson? I mean, sure, you can have one, but it's a sword. Right, now that's done, you start making the spine point narrower. Taper adds the sharpness to the edge. Yeah, it says stiffness and that's down, but that's fine. I got sharpness grade 2, speed, ability 2, impacts down. I'll do stiffness is fine. I don't want to make this a blade and it's like, oh look, a guillotine man. It's like, no. It's not for that. Nice plain one-handed blade. Kids start the blade, so it's fine. Mobility's still good, thing's still good. It's a starter. He sets a blade with a slow nod, turning it in his hands, as if reading some deeper meaning in the steel. A fine blade, Smith. But my grandson will show the proper care for it. If he doesn't, I'll go and beat him up. Let's see, we've got scraps we can get rid of, so that's good. Right. I wonder what we explore now. We are in the end of the stream, so that's good. So we'll get this done. Ah, so you still getting people saying they're from The Last Man. The Lost Sea. I mean, yeah, seriously. Broad point. That's the cross section 2. That's really did everything I needed. I think a little figure. It'll silly otherwise. 2 cross sections for some strange reason. Yeah, will do. A nameless sword from a time of nameless needs. I could get that as well, so. Yep, I will fix up. It's the same sword as the other one, so. I might actually make it wider and get the same sharpness. Yeah, no, I'm not sure what that is. Blend curve 2. Wow, I didn't know that one. You can start with that one. I mean, just adjusting the weight of the back would have done it. Apparently that did the job. Yep. So much better. Yay. But yeah, as I said before, losing your bladesmith is like seriously a humongous detriment to your town. You know, back in the medieval period, you know, a bladesmith could literally be the town's death if they lost it. You know what, we're good for material for now, so made cash, that's good. The den, the tannery. You know what, there's a thing, I want to recruit the lad, so if I know what he needs in order to get him out of the tannery, it's fine. The smell hits you before the tannery comes into view, and it hits you hard. A nauseating blend of rotting flesh, stale piss, and caustic lime. Round the corner, you see the source of the stench. That's not an under-exaggeration. There was a reason why tanneries were put on the outside of town. You put them on the edge of your town, away from everybody else. They smelled to high heavens. Workers standing waist deep in large wooden vats filled with manure and urine, stamping the mixture into hides. Others scrape fat and flesh from skins and curved knives, the wet slapping sound carrying across the yard. You find the owner seated behind an oak desk in an outbuilding, insulated from the worst of the stench. Sweat glistens on his fleshy jowls, and his fingers are adorned with silver rings. This is not a man with any personal experience of leatherworking. He looks you up when you enter, his eyes flashing with irritation. What now? Another complaint about the smell? I work in a forge. I'm the new swordsmith in Erin Keep. The man's facial features shift into a calculated smile. Greetings, Smith. Name's Purdesh, and I'm the leather trade. What can I do for you this fine day? You have a man named Caswin in your employ? Caswin? Aye, he's a good worker. Tireless, doesn't complain. He owes a substantial debt to the Houndsburg League. I'm helping pay it off one day at a time. Without my generosity, he'd have 2 broken legs and only a begging bowl to his name. I don't mind if he has broken legs. He can sit in like a wheelchair thingy in the forge. They'll still work. He's mine. What does he matter to you? I was hoping to hire him at my forge. He snorts derisively. You're welcome to him, but the man owes us a considerable sum. You just need to wait about 10 years. He should have paid off his debt by then. Ever heard of a man named Lucas Boronia? Nat raised an eyebrows raise. Matter of fact, I do know the man. Everyone knows Lucas. He's been a great friend of my family. Why do you ask? No reason. Not like I was interested anyway. Where can I find him? He's in Citadel Square almost every night, sitting at his usual table outside the Fallen Doe. Good luck getting a word in edgeways, though. Nope. But thankfully, thanks to your stupidity, I now know where to go to get my target. How much would it cost to buy Caswin's freedom? He paused for his ledger, must have been calculations. With interest? 2,000 fellas. But I doubt you can stump up that kind of money. Come now, you're not dealing with me fairly. There must be some way to reduce the price. He hesitates, evidently caught in a war between his pride and his greed. I have diplomacy skills. I would like to have had more diplomacy skills. Like 10 or something, like we smash him around the floor with it. You're right, Smith. That price isn't fair, but Casper's an unusual case. Because I respect your work, Sir Smith, I'll drop the price to 1,000, but I surely can go no lower. He's one of my best workers. I won't let him go until he's worked off every penny. Yeah, I'm like a tenth of the way there. Can I buy some leather? Don't sell deal with individuals, we sell in bulk. Established customers. He looks up and down with a grunt. But if you help out the tannery for a few hours, I can give you some off-cuts to take home. Rumour has it that Fessin murdered his poor wife and fled into the waste to escape the king's justice. Sounds plausible enough to me. You do well drop this line of inquiry, Smith. Fessin was a scoundrel. No one in the city misses him, especially now you're taking his role in the supply chain. Your trees with a simpering smile as you leave his office. You find him deep in conversation with a woman with a wild tangle of hair, brown, and a bowl slung over her shoulders. She's standing beside a cart loaded with fresh animal hides. The woman sees you first, her eyes keen and bright. She smiles at Caswin. The smile is like a dazzling blade. I'll leave you to talk to your friend. She slips away. A puzzled Caswin turns and spots you. Recognition taking a moment to flicker across his face. Well met, Smith. So about the smell, is there anything you need? Who was that? Oh, that was the huntress. She keeps a supply of animal hides. Well, earn the herds up in the farming district. Herders. To be honest, I don't know her actual name. They've been quite brave enough to ask. Oh, you know, I don't want to complain. Took me a while, but I'm almost used to the smell. And I'm so tired by the end of the day, I don't even have to worry about the bad dreams. I'll just collapse straight into bed. Farewell, if you need me, I'll be here. No, I don't need leather at the moment. I've not got a bad supply on it. So you can't go out until the end of the day. You can end the day whenever you want, but you can't go out anywhere until you end the day and close up shop. But yes, we have established what we need. Side fillers. You know what? I'd like to try and get engraving, because then I could, like, do some funny patterns. The sword part bending sounds nice. I can get one of these two anyway, so I can see what this is about. If this thing gives me better salvaging, great. Saleswoman, treasure hunter. Saleswoman might be. Bookkeeping and these might enhance. my stats. Which is why I won't mind doing first of all Engraver. See if I can get this. Oh, see, this is. I need more points for that. Yep. Crows. A young crow swaggers in, covered in filth and scars. First time in Errant Keep, and I was told you're the one to go to. Nice here civilization, ain't it? Nice and soft, like a pig's belly. Need something that'll make this soft sea folk wet themselves, sharp enough to gut a man proper. Faction reputation crows. Leather bag, old tools, some leather, pitiful amount of cash, and a faction points. I have 8 points, so if I did one of these, I won't be able to do his. So I can essentially. I'm going to start doing another one for now because I don't want to know what that's going to trigger. So we will call to do here. We're in the city. Now we've got out of the wastes. I do wonder if I should have stayed a little longer to see what happened with the woman and the child, but I hope the blade I gave us is going to keep us safe. It's a lot scarier going after somebody who has a blade. Level 6, my journal. Helping the neighbour. His niece's presence. Yep, we now know where he is. Source of steel, source of wood, source of leather. Reliable source. The tannery guy won't sell to me. Because we're just an individual. And he's greedy. He probably hikes his prices. 1,000 cat. 50, 100. I mean, if I sell to the merchant, a load. Rise and shine volume. I don't know what that is, but that's good. But he's a 6, that's a problem. Anyway, that's all for next time. So until then, folks, I'll catch you all later. See ya.